what does it take to become a Hall of Famer? How do you get there? And I think it takes a Hall of Fame. Wow, already. It takes a Hall of Fame support staff. So I was, born to Hall of Fame parents, Hall of Fame brother, Hall of Fame wife. It's too early. It's too early for this. Hall of Fame coaches, Hall of Fame friends, and so I've just been lucky all around. I've had so much support, and it's just been a blast. And so my wife's favorite quote from a sports writer Washington when I first got on campus is, "He runs up and down the court with the grace of an unplugged refrigerator." So I feel like I've come a long way since then. So like I said, Hall of Fame coaches, Hall of Fame teammates. Basketball Canada has been Hall of Fame to me, and I'm eternally grateful for all your love and support. And I'm so happy to be here, but tonight it's about Olga and I and how great we are. And it's nice to have this opportunity to verbally express that, our greatness. So, I wasn't sure this trip was going to happen. I mean, the people at Basketball Canada have been phenomenal. And they got me, Jan and I flights, and I was all happy. And then I saw it was on a particular airline that's been in the news a little bit lately. I won't say their name, but I'll say it may share some letters with the word untied, okay? That's all I'm going to say. So I just had visions of just being on there and like, yeah, that's MacCulloch at C1A. Yeah, he's got to go. Yeah, we're overbooked. No, there's enough seats, but Todd's taking up 2. Yeah, he's got to go. No, he says he won't go because he's got to get to the Hall of Fame because apparently he thinks it's some sort of a mistake, and if he doesn't go now, they're going to figure it out and they're going to withdraw it. So he's got to get up there. Yeah, no, he's not. It's not that he's not going willingly. He's stuck in the bathroom. So we're going to need everybody. Yeah, bring everybody. No, yeah, bring everybody. Okay, we got a clinger here. Stage 5 clinger. But everything worked out great, and here I am. At least I thought it had been great, and all I had to do was get through customs, right? I mean, a Hall of Famer, right? What kind of trouble am I going to have at customs? Mr. MacCulloch, anything you're bringing in with you? Yeah, my brother asked me to bring a watch. He had it sent to my house, live in the U.S. He lives here. He just asked me to give it to him. Okay, can I see this watch? Okay, sure. And what is the value of said watch? My brother said it's $485 Canadian. Okay, let's take a look. Why does the price tag say $750 American? That's what I tried to tell him. He's like, can you explain that? I'm like, no, I can't explain that. He wrote 485 CDN. Like, does the CDN mean currency deficient negligence? Does it mean can't do numbers? Like, I don't know what to tell this guy. And he's like, so does your brother ask you to do this kind of stuff all the time? I'm like, no, he's never before, and he'll never do it again. It's not happening. But maybe on my return, maybe on my my customs thing, maybe I shouldn't have put that I was transporting a time machine to my brother in the Air Force. Maybe that brought up some red flags. But if I could, I'd go back in time to when he asked me if I'd take the watch, and I'd say no. It was too late for that. So I'm literally on a watch list. He's like, I'm dead serious. He's like, I'm not going to fine you. I'm not going to, there's no duty, but I am going to document this. So thanks. I'm on a watch list. They're watching me. They say time flies, but not all the time. So guess what kind of watch it was? Yeah, Citizen. This is how citizens are treated at the airport now. True story. Okay, so every time you look at that watch, Scott, I want you to think of me and the fact that I can't leave my country anymore. Okay, so what is it? I thought about it. What does it take to be a Hall of Famer, right? Everyone gets there a different way, if you're lucky enough to get in. So what's one thing? Lifting weights, right? Lifting weights, that's a very important thing. That was never my favorite. I squat 400 pounds every time I sit down to eat, right? So you get your work done. You get your work in any way you can. You got to eat right? It's all about eating right. And you guys have heard of a guy named Steve Nash, right? Good guy. Teammate, mentor, someone that I looked up to. He got to the NBA before me, and so I always wanted to help me. So he used to take, lessons. He was a leader on and off the court. So we were at some hotel in a buffet line getting our food, and I had my tray, and I made my choices, and Steve got his tray, and he made his choice. And he thought, Todd, let's take a look here. Let's look about nutrition and performance, and let's look at what we got going on your tray, and let's look at what we going on here. So that was a good opportunity. So Steve said, like here on my plate, I have Brussels sprouts, okay? You have powdered donuts. I'm like, does the powder get on the ball? Like, is that, come on, man. Over here, I have assorted grains. You have a log house made of bacon strips. Like, do you want a lean-to? Like, what is it supposed to be? He's like, here I have oatmeal, you have Fruit Loops, and I have a slice of cantaloupe, and you have a slice of pie. So I don't know whatever happened to that guy. I don't think anything really became a Steve Nash. Good advice there, Steve. I don't see him in the Canada Basketball Hall of Fame. Hashtag unrealized potential. What does it take to be a Hall of Famer? It takes uncompromising motives. We were playing the Olympics, and it was a dream come true to make the Canadian national team, to go to the Olympics, coached by our brave leader, Jay Trano. And there was one key game we needed to win. We needed a possession. So at a timeout, he's like, guys, out of my own money, I got $100 for whoever gets the next rebound. I should have had all the motivation. I'm in the Olympics, is all I've won. I'm like, $100? That buys a lot of pinball machines. You're damn right, I got that next rebound. And coach pays his debts. I mean, it was Australian currency, but thanks for paying your debts, coach. And yeah, so that's good. And what else does it take to be a Hall of Famer? Well, it takes a firm grasp of the fundamentals, okay? And I've always been a fundamental player, not that showy, not a lot of slam dunks. And so what's a big fundamental in basketball? When you jump up with the ball, you got to do one of two things, right? You got to shoot it or you got to pass it, okay? Those are the two options. I was a big fan of shooting it if I jumped. I wasn't a big fan of passing it. I subscribe to the flight attendant directives for inspiration. Always secure your shot at the basket before attempting to assist others. Also, items may have shifted as I ran past you. So my fundamentals were so good that I actually once invented a third option, and it resulted in 2 points for my team. And I haven't seen this move attempted by anyone beyond the second grade. I jumped up against Sean Bradley, who's 6 inches taller than me, and when he puts his arms in the air, it's very ominous. So I jumped up at the basketball and came right back down without shooting it or passing it. Doesn't happen a lot in the NBA. Referee was so stunned, he called a foul on Sean Bradley, who went ballistic because he knew he didn't touch me. So I ended up, getting a couple free throws. So no one tries that move. I don't recommend it. Also, shot fake is very fundamental in basketball, and I have the unofficial NBA record for 6 consecutive shot fakes, and I ended up getting fouled and getting an and one. So that maybe guys don't shot fake enough consecutively. What does it take to be in the Hall of Fame? Well, toughness. Got to be tough most of the time. We had a rep, someone was making our jerseys, and he was looking at the materials, and he wanted some feedback, and he's like, Todd, what do you think? And I'm like, it kind of irritates my nipples a little bit. And I regretted my honesty ever since. You're not supposed to give that kind of feedback. Guess you didn't want to know. What does it take to be a Hall of Famer? You got to be laser focused at all time. You got to have your head in the game. I was playing for Coach Triano when I was young. I was 18. And I was a good player, and I was in foul trouble, so I think I had 4 fouls. I was sitting on the end of the bench. We had a nice lead on Mexico, so in my head, the game was over. I'd done my bit, and I was sitting on the end of the bench, and somebody on Mexico got frustrated, and they got a technical foul. And Coach Triano said, Todd, get in there, shoot the free throws. And I'm like, what? I'm a 7-footer. So I get up there, and I'd made them up until that point, and since my head was out of the game, I missed the free throws, and Coach said, yep, that's what I get for making a 7-footer, shoot my free throws. You'll never do that again. And I never shot any more technicals after that game. You got to be focused. There was one time we were playing the Detroit Pistons, and as a rookie, I didn't play a lot. And I remember being in a timeout, and I'm trying to follow. I know I'm not getting to the game, so I'm trying to listen and be a good student. And I've got, all these guys I look up to, but I look up in the stands in the upper deck, and there's a mascot, Benny, I don't know who he is, but he's got a sled. He's about to, toboggan down this thing, and I'm like, I don't want to miss this. But I'm acting like this, and I see one of my mentors, Matt Geiger, come over, and I think he's gonna be like, Todd, get your mind in the game. And he's like, dude, you got to see this guy. He's insane. I love this guy. Man, I love the NBA. Love it. So, what does it mean to be a Hall of Famer? Well, it can mean worldwide recognition. And I got a good friend, Jeff Cron, and lives in Vancouver. And during the Olympics, there was a contest on the radio where if you could get the most famous person to call in on your behalf, then you could win tickets to see the hockey game. So he's like, Todd, I need your help. And I'm like, I'm not that big in BC. Nobody even knows me. He's like, no, I want you to call Steve Nash. I'm still friends with him, but not by much. So Jeff's done. But I was so proud to make that junior national team. I used to spend a lot of time at the YMCA, and the goal there was to be invited on a 6-week canoe trip. And I was on a 3-week, you could sign up for that, but a 6-week was like, you've made it, you're accepted, and everyone, on my 6th week, we did this, and so I finally got invited, and I was gonna spend my senior summer doing that. And then a good friend of mine decided he didn't want to spend 6 weeks in a canoe with a bunch of dudes, and I'm like, yeah, if my best friend's on a trip, I think I'm out too. And then Coach Triano offered me a chance to play in the junior national team. And it's been great. So that was the best canoe trip I never went on. And I just remember, Coach Campbell, we got our gear and I got a windbreaker, and I told him, I said, I'm never taking this thing off. I mean, fat guy in a little coat, I would have ripped it by now. But the incentive, I was just so proud to be Canadian, to wear that. So I've got a jersey, not on here, but basically I'm just wearing one around all the time. So proud to be Canadian, so proud to be in the Canadian Hall of Fame, Basketball Hall of Fame, and so glad that you guys could be here tonight. So thank you very much.